Oh, we're going to cut your credit card rate. It's going to go from 25 to 79.9. How's that sound? See, it's just a completely Orwellian system. But here's the issue that I want to get across, and we're going to put that back on screen for prisonplanet.tv viewers. We're just going to leave that up there for a few minutes. I think it's so important for people to see that number, 79.9%, and they're just getting started. You know, I said I would quantify a sophisticated attack by the globalist for the left and the right if people want to get out of their rhetoric and their rah-rah football team type mindset of where it's fun to hate Democrats and it's fun to hate Republicans, and we've been trained from cradle to grave how to infight with each other and how to follow disinformation or limited paradigms of information. It's a national pastime to be a chump, to be an idiot, to be conned, to be a sucker, to be manipulated. But if you want to understand in a nutshell what's happening through the example of this shutdown, the banksters come in, they hold the country hostage, they get us into even more fraudulent debt to them out of the private fiat tsunami of fraudulent financial instruments that they've made. And then once they're done with that, they then say, we've got to set up a new system. We've got to raise new taxes. We've got to have boxes in your cars that'll track you by the mile. We've got to raise all these other fines and fees on you because America's bankrupt. And then they scapegoat the unions and the welfare moms, a lot of them that are entitled and do have attitude problems and are anti-gun, but they're just kept brainwashed people. And that's an overgeneralization. Many of the union people know what's going on. They don't like having to pay their dues into the Socialistic Democratic Party. So I've set some of the background here, and there's just thousands of trees in this forest. To understand it, you've got to really research it and walk through it for yourself. But looking generally at the lay of the land itself, this morning I listened off and on for about 2 hours to Bloomberg Financial News. I don't normally listen that much to it. I'll pop in to check what they're doing. And I tuned in for a long period this morning because they are at Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, with George Soros and several hundred top academics and central bankers trying to iron out, they say, a new economic order because, quote, capitalism isn't working. Well, yes, the system of robbery they've created, the system of derivatives they've created, the system of fraud they've created, the system where they're above the law and can engage in any type of crime they want, drug money laundering, selling fraudulent derivatives. Yes, that system is broken. Not for them. They're all making record profits 3 years in a row and consolidating and buying almost everything up. And the middle class is disappearing and becoming debt slaves. But that's what they're masters of. The very bankers that engineered this are now going to the government employees and the military and to the corporations that get government contracts, and they're saying, see how dependent on us you really are. See how much you need government. Look at how, it just makes my head ache. Look at how without the government, everything shuts down. So this is just like Paulson holding Congress hostage saying, you won't give us unlimited money in the banker takeover known as the banker bailout. We'll go out on TV and say we're going to have a depression and the market's going to fall by almost 1,000 points, and then we'll see how you vote. And they got themselves together, bowed down, and licked his boots. And so the bankers engineer the crisis, and then they go out and scapegoat the low-level welfare that was just to domesticate people and cause a fight between the American people who are on the government dole or getting a government paycheck with those of us that aren't, so that we're busy fighting with each other instead of going, wait a minute, it's the banksters. They're the
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $220. And the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. The earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster that killed thousands of Japanese citizens is nothing compared to the devastation that could be caused by hyperinflation that will soon hit the United States and could lead to millions of Americans becoming homeless, all caused by the devalued U.S. dollar. While the mainstream media continues to ignore inflation, our friends at the National Inflation Association provide a free weekly newsletter that educates Americans to the facts and truth about the U.S. economy and inflation. I urge you to sign up at the NIA's free newsletter at www.inflation.us to learn how you can not only survive, but prosper during the upcoming hyperinflation crisis. Silver has more than doubled since the NIA declared silver the best investment for the next decade on inflation.us. The NIA's team of expert economists are happy to answer any economic questions you have about inflation, debt, currencies, real estate, precious metals, and commodities. Visit inflation.us to learn the economic truth that the mainstream media ignores. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com. All right, Lucretia and others, I'm going to your calls soon. At least 30 minutes of the next hour will be nothing but calls. But getting back to Bretton Woods, too, with George Soros honchoing it up in New Hampshire, listening to this and listening to the buzzwords and the creepiness of all these economists and central bankers who they had coming through every 10-minute segment on there, I was just basically depressed by it. Their snake-like voices, their disinformation. But this is more towards a highbrow business audience, so they were admitting the global economy's in a depression. There's this total crisis. Things are disintegrating. There's the problems of derivatives, and their answer is a global regulatory body for global standardized control and taxation. And they're going to save us from the problems that they are the authors of on record. And they're not going to save us from the problems because the problems are the solutions for them. They just know that the public is feeling the pain, and they know even more pain's coming. And so they're just going to play the French people off against each other, the Irish, the American people, and every other country they're robbing with the exact same system. They're going to play us off against each other, cut the paychecks of the government workers and the corporate welfare that most businesses are dependent on now, and then get everybody fighting with each other over table scraps, over a few trillion, while they have got the 1,000+ trillion. And it's really that simple. But to hear them sitting up there talking about how lucky they are that we have them there trying to fix the problem was disgusting. And to know how ignorant most of these union spokespeople are, and to hear the mainline Republicans, how ignorant they are, It's all about we got to fix America. We got to cut the budget by $100 billion or $200 billion or $300 billion or $400 billion or $500 billion. That isn't going to do it. Because when you talk about budgets of $1 trillion here, $1 trillion there, when you talk about deficits of $1 trillion, that's nothing compared to the overhang of the debt black hole of the 1,000+ trillion. And you're not hearing any discussion about that. It's all about the diversion of how do we fix America? Well, let's play the American people off against each other. And to have to hear the Republicans talk about the Democrats, and because they'll have Michael Moore come out and attack the central banks, but he'll attack it because there's some wealthy people making money. He doesn't attack the fractional reserve banking system. He doesn't attack the private Federal Reserve. No, the problem is there's not enough taxes. But then when you actually read what the Council on Foreign Relations is putting out, what the OECD is putting out, what the IMF and World Bank and UN are putting out, they're all calling for increased taxes on the wealthy. Because the mega rich are in a war against the wealthy and the middle class. That's historical, going back to even Greek times. And the ultra rich are the people who control the regulators and write all the loopholes, but they don't even need loopholes now. They just do whatever they want. Do you understand that? And so that's why this is only going to get worse and worse, because as it gets worse and worse for us, it gets better and better for them. So they're saying, let's get the rich people. And for somebody making $40,000 a year, $30,000 a year at some union job, and they see somebody making $500,000 a year, to them, that's Donald Trump. And they're like, yeah, take their money. The ultra-rich own huge combines of corporations. Their debt is hidden. It's offshore. You don't even see that in the financial actuaries that are put out there. And so, pressure from below and above. The globalists are sicking the American people who are having their standard of living cut, their dollar devalued, their government paychecks cut. They're going to sick them on each other in a big brawl, so we're busy fighting with each other while the globalists openly establish world government and have their financed mainstream news media put them up there on a pedestal and hail the new world government and debt servitude as the solution. That's what's going on at Bretton Woods, too.
This is GCN, the Genesis Communications Radio Network.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lungs system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lungs system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions directly to key target areas. This includes the eyes, ears, nose, lungs, topically to the skin, and orally for the digestive system. Be sure to watch our new 7-minute video tour of the Silver Lungs system at www.silverlungs.com to learn more about how the Silver Lungs system works. As well, we are always ready to answer any questions you may have. That's www.silverlungs.com.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
We are now into hour number 2. I've only scratched the surface of the news. South Koreans wear masks out of fear of radiation from Japan, just from the backwash they're getting from it. Our government says don't even worry about it and is raising the safe radiation levels 25,000 times what they were previously. Oh, they just changed an accounting number and everything's fine. We'll get more into the government shutdown, more into Bretton Woods 2 going on. We do have Bruce Fein joining us, the constitutional lawyer on Capitol Hill, circulating articles of impeachment against Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama. Also, we've got one of the big socialist leaders in the U.S. basically endorsing armed rebellion if the government doesn't redistribute the middle class's wealth fast enough. And, of course, the bankers are openly financing all these groups. It's totally sick. Let's go to Lucretia in Oregon, who disagrees, then Joe, Don, Fred, Sean, and others. Lucretia, you're on the air.
Thank you, Alex. Listen, you know I love all you do. I've passed out over 800 of your CDs and got you on the local radio, but I have three disagreements with you. And the first one, I've got Dr. Stan Monteith, Dr. Russell Blaylock, Dr. Fletcher, Dr. Miller, Dr. Brownstein, even Dr. Mercola is coming around.